We almost hit a motorbike in between cars. Stop light. Okay, I know what I'm doing. You don't have to tell me every time that I'm going too fast. You're gonna have a problem trying to control all the movements. There are a few things that I have to consider. You actually have all of these beeping. Probably reviewing a car in Vietnam or driving in the streets of Saigon has to be totally different. I cannot really understand everything about the car. If that's it, maybe I just run away. Whatever it is, we have this on video. So here's the question. Why are the words in Chinese? Welcome to Saigon, the city that never stops honking. And I am here to do something that I promised I would never do. Drive a Vietnam-made car. This VinFast VF8. Will I regret it? Possibly. But am I way too curious to not do it? Absolutely. So now you might be thinking, why Ken put yourself through all this torture if you're so skeptical? Well, one, because I'm an international and business immigration attorney that's been living in Vietnam for over 10 years. I'm a tiny bit masochistic, and because you asked for it. And two, this car has been making headlines all over the world, from North Carolina to Paris, big time IPOs, and a mention in the Time magazine top 100. And yes, we are going to drive it right here in the streets of Saigon. But first, why does this matter? Just over 10 years ago, nobody would ever think that Vietnam would be able to produce and export its own EVs worldwide. And yet here I am, about to go behind the wheel of this $50,000 electric vehicle manufactured and produced in Vietnam and gunning for Tesla's throne. So let's roll, literally, into the car. So we are not your typical car reviewers. We are just your neighborhood attorney that enjoys driving cars. And then we wanted to give you our own personal perspective on a VF8. So we are going to take you to the streets or chaotic streets of Saigon. So buckle up or just hang on tight so we can see how smooth and easy or painful this ride is on the streets of Saigon. If you've never driven in Saigon, imagine playing Tetris. Except all the pieces are motorbikes, trucks, and random pedestrians. It's a survival sport. So I'm actually here at a stop sign or stop light. Okay, I know what I'm doing. You don't have to tell me every time that I'm going too fast, but I'm actually not. I'm actually going much slower. So I'm looking at the brakes. So I feel that it's a bit jerky. It's the regenerative brakes on this vehicle makes it a little bit jerky, and it's not as smooth. Jerky on the brakes here at the light. But the brake itself is a little bit smooth, and then when you're sitting in the car, it is smooth and quiet, and that's for all electric cars. So I am trying to use the turn signal, and it doesn't have that click like many cars do, whereby you can hear the click, and then when you click back, so that you know that you've already made your turn. Similar to the other video, motorbikes also jump in and out of nowhere. We almost hit a motorbike in between cars. So I'm still trying to maintain safety and security for, well, mostly for Kim since she's in the car, but to also drive and also experience this car as well. So I'm trying to change a few of the settings because it's a one panel. You're looking at the touchscreen, also the language. So the language is English, but the voice activation is in Vietnamese. So no, we can change the region. Decently responsive, definitely not at the level of iPhone, but if you are forced to control everything mostly on the this big screen, then you're gonna have a problem trying to control all the movements. Although this is my first time driving, if I drove every day and I had the car, probably I would be much better at using it. But you definitely don't want to depend on the touch screen because it's a big distraction for a person driving. So just here pushing in the pedal to see the speed and the smoothness of increasing speed. We're about 60 kilometers per hour. It's very smooth, has quite a bit of torque, and it will continue. So that's a great thing about this car. Although when you increase in the torque, it's slightly bit jerky. Okay? Nevertheless, it's still pretty smooth for an electric car. See, as you can see, when we were hitting the bumps, you can definitely feel the bumps. Like I'm jumping I can see the camera jumping, so we definitely know that the suspension is not very good on this car itself. So I mean, if you're looking at autonomous or AI or software focused assistance, then there are a few things that I have to consider. All right. So this is a voice of this lady telling us that there are cameras that will penalize you, or accidents that without the cop is called phạt nguội, which is would be equivalent to you know, cameras taking pictures and then you get your ticket. So she says that everywhere it's kind of good to have, but if you are driving around, you hear it all the time, it could be extremely annoying. So, you know, one of the safety measures for a car is whether you know that there are other cars next to you, or motorbikes, or different obstacles. So as we're driving, there are signals on the mirrors to say a car is near you or some obstruction. But if you park, you will actually have all of these beeping, whereby it will tell you there are just cars all around you. And if it continuously beeps, that could get annoying as well. I'm pretty sure there's a function to turn that off so that it's not as sensitive, or it won't beep at all and you will gauge your own path. But I do have to say, probably reviewing a car in Vietnam or driving in the streets of Saigon has to be totally different than to review or driving in the United States, just because the patterns are much different, right? So here I'm turning in, so you can see that it's beeping every time a motorbike drives by. But when you have 43 million motorbikes and increasing every day, you would definitely hear a lot of beeps. So I definitely would turn off that function of the beeping, because it's just way too annoying for to beep all the time. So just a pre-warning, I am not Doug Demuro. I cannot really understand everything about the cars and the full review, but I'll give you the Ken Duong version of the review. So now we are stopped a little bit, so I want to check out the interior for some of the promises that are made. So if you look at the interior and the finishes, I mean, if you look at the color, it looks nice, but you can definitely tell when they are perforated here on the seats. That means it's good, it has air and release. And I know that there will be, you can turn on air as well. But right here, this leather is probably not the best leather. It's a little bit plastic for the price tag that we're talking about. So as we continue, we're looking at some of the finishes and the trimmings on the inside, the plastic. I would say that I would have to review that based on the price tag of about $50,000. The trimmings seem a little bit more plasticky than what you would expect in a car of that price. Let's look at the screen right here. So this is really the technology. As an EV, you have to really look at the technology. If you're going to compete against Tesla, you're going to compete against BYD or some of these automakers. Lumen, also in the United States. So let's take a look at the touchscreen. When you come into the car, you'll see what the car looks like and its status. You'll have a map, and then you have also your different apps as well. Here, you can control the entire flow. This looks pretty cool, but of course, it would get boring as well. Auto, AC. You have ion, you have sync. You can turn up the amount of air a little bit faster. Number 6, 5, 4, and 3. Okay, that's pretty smooth. All the different settings that you would normally have in the manual, now it's all digital and on the screen. Changing the mirrors. So that's pretty smooth. You have a lot of options available, and then what your driving status is. Okay. Here I can see that you can also change different eco, normal, or sport. We probably should be driving in normal. Maybe we'll drive sport a little bit later to see how fast this car goes. And so yeah, that's kind of like generally. Of course, you have also the hand-free options as well for cruise control, changing the volume, picking up the phone. That's pretty standard in considered a luxury car of $50,000 or more. And this is a 5-seater. What I do like is, and I always enjoy, is the roof. So let me figure out how to open this moon roof for us. So we want to do vent glass when we do full shade. All right, so you open up the moon roof, fully panoramic. I always enjoy driving like that, and very easy to close as well. You can even close both. All right, and you can open up the vent as well. That's always enjoyable. This car costs around 50,000 US dollars. That plops it right up against Tesla's Model Y, Hyundai's Ioniq 5, and Ford's Mach-E, all tough competitors with proven track record, software polish, and brand loyalty. Meanwhile, VinFast is still a fresh face, like a new actor auditioning for a lead role in a blockbuster. It's bold, but it's also super risky. So now it's a moment of truth. Every electric car and also looking at the infrastructure in Vietnam, how do we find the closest charging station just in case or when you run out of battery? So we look on here. I will try to figure this out. And so I figured it would be in the app. You probably look at maps, charging stations. Okay, so 1.8 kilometers is the closest charging station. Okay, hour of operations. G Thăng Ba G, where is that? Maybe I need to find my own position. That's not it. We need to know where we are. You're offline. So we're offline. How do we get back online in order? We might have to pay for a subscription for the online. So let's do this. I'm gonna go into my phone. Okay, looks like there's a VinFast charging station right up the way of where we are. So it looks like there's many options available. If you just look up the VinFast charging station, there seems a few charging stations here in Binh Thanh district. There's a few, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in District 1, where our office is, and then a couple in District 2. So I think there's definitely enough options, and I believe there will be more installations as well. But let's go and actually charge. I see this one's very close by. 7 minutes walking, 2 minutes by car. Let's see if we can go find this charging station and go test out the charging itself. Okay, so we are here, Vin Homes area, which is a whole community of Vin Mega Mall. So you have the Vin chargers that we're gonna go and charge as well. So let's check out the handling of the car itself for some of these smaller, tighter turns, because the VF8 is a slightly bigger car. It's a 5-seater. It is a SUV. So let's see how it takes this turn here as we make a U-turn to go to the charging station. All right. So turning radius for this U-turn, which is a little bit broader, is pretty good, right? Very easily, took that U-turn very easily. Been turning left and right easily as well. We just happened to be driving by a Vin bus. So also an electric car as well. All right, I think one station just opened up. We gotta go quick, get to the station so we can charge our VinFast. Sweet, let's do it. I think our car is a little bit big, but we will do it. Okay, we found a station. We're gonna go charge it. We'll figure out as we go. All right, let's do it. All right, we have reached the charging station. Heading out right now. Let's find out how do we charge this bad boy. So it appears that here. Open it up. We take out the charger, I think. Okay. And we just come over here. So it is expected to, within 40 minutes, that it will charge from 20 to 80%. I think you have to pull. All right. Okay, here we go. So you pull out the 2. And you plug it in. So here we are at the EV charging station, and we're gonna take a really quick pit stop, grab a little coffee, and share with you a little bit about the history of VinFast. So the VinFast started in 2017, headed by currently the richest man in Vietnam, Mr. Pham Nhật Vượng. VinFast partnered with BMW and brought over Pininfarina and Magna Stern in order to design all their vehicles. So pretty much they went from a local champion to a global EV brand in just 5 seconds. They built showrooms from Berlin all the way to Paris and all over the world, including building a factory in North Carolina and also being mentioned as a top 100 most influential companies and being labeled as a disruptor. It's pretty much a Cinderella story. especially if Cinderella has steel-toe boots and was building factories in North Carolina. So we're here at our charging station. It appears we have 62%. We've charged for 4 minutes, 3.58 kilowatts. So now it's a determination of if we stop it, then how do we pay for it? It seems like there's a credit card or some sort of information here. Let's test it out. Okay. Stop. I would assume this is stop.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So here's the question. Why are the words in Chinese? So is this a Chinese manufactured battery? How are Vietnamese people or English speaking people supposed to read this charger? I don't read Chinese. So I think I will guess what needs to be done. I will take out the charger, put it back in here. I think. Let me see. Okay, that is how you do it. All right, we are in. I put the charger back. If that's it, maybe I just run away. I don't know if I need to pay or not. Okay, well, whatever it is, we have this on video. We charged. We don't know if we have to pay or not. It might be free. It might be membership based. This is something we're gonna need to figure out. When we figure out, we'll let you know. But if that is what it is, then I guess we'll just take off. Charging is smooth. Seems like it's decently fast. We're gonna have to judge. But the problem is all the wording is in Chinese. The parking space is a little bit small here in Vietnam. Hopefully in North America, they'll make it bigger, or in Europe as well, and other parts of the world. But so that's with charging. And with that said, I actually want to say that charging seems to be 80%, but also 80% of you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel. So I would highly recommend you get into the 20%. And just like driving in the streets of Saigon without a seatbelt, the risk is very high and the reward is very low. So all you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you will decrease the risk so you get all the best information available to you, up to minute, on time, and the most reliable. Thank you very much. Let's get back into our VinFast. All right, so we're backing out of the spot. We just finished charging. I usually put on the hazard lights just in case. So you can see on the screen, you can see the left and the right, and also the back as well. So camera view seems to have all areas covered. We're trying to figure out what this other VinFast is doing, why he's not moving. So this is welcome to the traffic and streets of Saigon, whereby you really need help in order to move and mobilize. Wow, that was a pretty close call of that motorbike that came in. And the other motorbike that went the wrong way. If I had moved, I might have hit that car. So let's figure this out. All right, look, there's a guy that went shopping for food. And then he came out and his VinFast should be done and ready to go. So I believe North America will be much different than here in Vietnam, because most of the VinFast drivers are taxi drivers or app drivers instead of actual users. Okay. Except for this guy in the white. So this is the most legitimate user. Went in for shopping at VinFast, VinHomes, the mega mall. He went to get his car. He has groceries. So he probably lives the life for all those Vin group lovers. Coin it, I haven't heard that before, but I'll call them Vin groupies, who live, shop, drive, fly, go to school, go to the medical services, buys online through the Vin, and everything Vin. We will call them Vin groupies. So last May 2024, VinFast had a recall in the United States of over 2,000 VF34 cars because of a faulty brake fluid leak. While this is not the same model, this is the VF8, but you have to look into the quality control of the car. Safety is a top priority. That is what VinFast is promising. So let's see if they can prove it. Now, as a U.S. attorney also working in Vietnam, let me highlight a crucial point. Vietnam does not specifically have strict products liability law, which falls under tort liability. In the U.S. and the EU, they take manufacturing and design defects very seriously. If a car in the market creates injury to people, there are civil lawsuits, class actions, and substantial damages, whereby here in Vietnam, it doesn't have robust tort law and it doesn't have strict products liability. Therefore, the cars can be manufactured not at the highest quality of safety and security, and unfortunately, there aren't consumer redress if something happens while they're driving the car. So to wrap this up, the question is, would I drive the VF8 again? And I'm probably leaning towards no, until they're able to improve the quality issues, the software glitches, and the floatiness of the car itself. But here's the thing, VinFast is only a decade old. They have made tremendous progress in the last few years, and maybe in the next 5 years, they will be able to fix the glitches, increase the quality, and be able to rival Tesla or Hyundai. For now, it's slightly like the first pancake, burnt on the one side and undercooked on the other. And hey, maybe it's still better than some random Chinese knockoff. It's certainly better than that. So if VinFast keeps on moving forward, improving, then they might really become a contender in the next few years. You know, in light of all its challenges, Vietnam is full of opportunities beyond just experimenting with EVs. So if you're looking to do business in Vietnam, such as open a factory, open a technology company, or distributing products in Vietnam, our legal team is here to help you every step of the way, and no random recalls required. All right, folks, it's time for the Ken score. And please don't sue me, Doug. So this is how it works. I will rate the VF8 from a scale of 1 to 10 in very arbitrary categories of what I think makes up this review. Styling, 7 out of 10. It's decent looking. It's not quite the head turner, but it's really not an eyesore either. Interior quality, 4 out of 10. It's really plastic fantastic, and it's not what you would expect out of a premium car. Driving experience, 5 out of 10. Has floaty suspension, delayed throttle, controls are not very easy to use, so just a 5. Tech and features, 3 out of 10. The infotainment seems like it came out of the Stone Age. And value for money, 4 out of 10. Because 50 grand really puts it at a level of very stiff competition that beats out the car in every single way. Add those all up, carry the 1, and the VinFast gets a scientific, accurate Ken score of 23 out of 50. But hey, that's just me. You might get better mileage out of it if you can find a decent charger. Until next time, thank you for cruising the streets of Saigon with me and reviewing this VF8. And maybe in a few years, I can confidently say, I will drive a Vietnam-made car again. So with that said, thank you for watching this video. Leave your comments below if you've driven any of the VinFast cars in Vietnam or US or other parts of the world. Let us know what your thoughts are. That's a Ken score and my review. So with that said, on behalf of Yun Global, thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure that you like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on all our social media, and click on the bell for notifications. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.